God bless you, everybody. Welcome to the I Game, where we're learning. It's not about us. It's not about me. It's about God, but I love God. Thank you for joining me again. If you appreciate the show, appreciate the content, please like, subscribe, share. Please leave comments. I love to talk to you. Please keep praying for me. We're going to continue talking about I and the value of I and the devaluing of I. Because the more you focus on yourself, you're actually making yourself smaller. We always try to convince ourselves that we're getting bigger, bolder, badder, better bosses, but you're really not. The more you focus on I, the more you actually diminish yourself. God designed us to reflect Him and reflect His glory. So the more you submit to God and His ideas, the bigger you actually get. It's like, what good is an 80-inch TV without the 2-inch plug? It's nothing. So today's topic, our self-lord and master. Some of us remember the 5%ers back in the 90s. It began in the 80s. For a second, I was following them. And I love the concept, our self-lord and master. You know, if you look at the letters, it also says Islam. But it's actually not the original Orthodox Islam from Saudi Arabia. It's something else. But just the concept of it, we still use it. Many of us use it, but we don't even call ourselves Muslims. We just call it, I love me, and it's all about me in this new pride, self-help era. Because listen to the words, I self, Lord and Master. I am my own Lord, I am my own Master. And it sounds good. It's a good mantra to be independent. It's a good mantra to boost your confidence. You know, I've seen a lot of men, well, women do it too, but even men have started doing it, the affirmations. You stand in the mirror and you tell yourself, I'm awesome, I'm dope, I'm cute, I'm big, I'm bad, I'm healthy, I'm going to win, I. Going back to the 5 I's in Isaiah chapter 14, because it's all about I. Our self-lord and master, it really feels good because it can boost your confidence. And there are times when you have to be independent. We all been there. Because when you graduate high school, your name's on the diploma. When you graduated college, that's your name on the diploma. When you bought that car, that's your name. You had to do the work, and you had to share the responsibility, and you had to pay for it. But there comes a time when you have to submit to God. There comes a time when the greatest self-help books are not going to help you. Because we are independent, but we're also codependent on God. And God knows what's best. He's the creator, He's the designer, He knows what you need, He knows what you don't need. He also knows who you need and who you don't need. There are times we bring the wrong people into our lives. And that was the first thing I learned about social media when I first got on it back in 2013. Because I stayed away from Facebook for years. Like, I didn't like it. I've seen other people using it, and I saw them getting distracted with the real world, playing with their phones. You know, I wasn't using it. I was coaching football. I was playing sports. I was in the gym every day. I didn't have time for social media. But after I finished writing my first book, I got on it because I wanted to sell my book. And I started connecting with old friends, and I even found old girlfriends on Facebook. And I found old friends from high school. And for a split second, it was mad fun. But then I started feeling that pull back to the old life and the old ideas and reminiscing with old people. And then it also started to begin to affect my real life. So now, people I never should have been reconnected with were back into my life. And I had decisions to make. And I don't want to get into that. You know, that's a whole social media rant. But because of our technology, we bring things into our life that shouldn't be there. I'm going to say that. You could be on one path because God was in control, but social media, technology, being around the wrong people, you get distracted quick. And that's the problem with I, self, Lord, and Master. We start manipulating things and blending things in our lives that shouldn't really be there. Because if you're honest, you can admit there are people in your life right now that shouldn't be in your life. But when you are Lord and Master, you're going to do it the way you want to do it. God could have had you on a plan to start a business, but when you connect with the wrong people, you get comfortable where you are, you start doing things you shouldn't be doing, you start compromising, you start taking on beef and weight that shouldn't even be in your life. Like, I remember fighting fights I never should have fought because I was connected to the wrong people. And then because of loyalty and because I, self, Lord, and Master, it becomes these journeys and these battles, and because of pride, I want to win this one. Like, I'm not afraid to admit it now. I've won fights that I never should have been in, but I was walking around glorious, patting myself on the back, getting congratulations and praises from other people that I never even should have been with. And that's one of our problems with life. That's one of the problems when you become your own Lord, you become your own master. You build the kingdom that you never should have had. Because there are businesses I was supposed to start. There are books I should have wrote. But I was getting involved with other people that never should have been in my life. So now I'm fiending and lusting after things I shouldn't have been fiending and lusting after. Like, I've seen people ruin their marriages for that. They got around the wrong friends. Like, if you're married, I'm gonna say it like this. If you're married, you should not have single friends. I'm gonna say it that way. If you're married, all of your friends should be married. If you're single, your friends should be single, and y'all can do what single people do. But if you're married and you're hanging out with a bunch of single people, and you self, Lord and Master, your needs are gonna become more powerful than your morals and your ethics, because now it's all about you. You're gonna take on the attitude of those single people. And now you want the world to adjust to your needs. And when it's all about you, it's all about what you can take and not what you can sacrifice. Because that's the measuring stick. That's what happens when Jesus is the master of your life. Because he's always gonna want you to give and to sacrifice. And when you know you have to live a life of sacrifice, you're not gonna attach yourself to the wrong people. But if it's all about what I can take, you're gonna be surrounded by other takers. And now you and those takers are gonna continue to take, because you think alike and you act alike and you agree, because you're surrounded by the wrong people, because you are the Lord and you are the master. And your needs become the boss. The things you want become your leader. Like in the Bible, it talks about being driven by the hunger of your belly, because it's all about yourself. And you can be a parasite and not even know it. As long as you're getting what you want, you don't even care. Like some people call that, the selfish, the abuser, the narcissist, and all those other words. Because it's I, self, Lord, and Master. It's all about me. And I need this world to bend to my needs. I need this world to give me what I want from this world. And I will bring what I want and I will take what I want, because it's all about me. And for years I lived like that. And I used and abused people for years. Then when the real God came and told me to change, I didn't want to hear that story. So I had to create my own God, which just became a reflection of myself. And I had all these rules and standards for myself because it was all about me. When you come to Jesus, the first thing that happens is he's going to show you it's all about giving and it's all about him. And when God builds a kingdom, it's for you and everyone to win. Because Jesus cares about everybody. So we all have to share. That's what the entire 10 Commandments was about. It was about one person and how you can bless the community. That's why you have to respect other people's time, other people's money, and other people's property. Nowhere in the 10 Commandments is it about I. It's about us. It's about surrendering to God first. Because how would you feel if you knew your neighbor was gonna break into your house as soon as you went to sleep? That would not make you feel good. You would feel very uncomfortable. But the 10 Commandments told us to respect our neighbors, honor our neighbors. Do not cover your neighbor's wife. Do not cover your neighbor's property. So God's rules are actually better. It's not I, self, Lord, and Master. Because if you're hungry, you'll just go to your neighbor's house and take his food. Because it's all about you. Well, if you feel that's okay, then how would you like if they did it to you? What if your neighbor just took your car and drove away? You're going to feel violated. So it's not about I. It's not about self. It's about what God said. And what God said allows us all to live in peace. Because God made the rules. He created everything, so he knows how it's supposed to function. So we should be doing it God's way. But when it's I, self, Lord, and Master, all you care about is yourself. You're not even willing to sacrifice and help people with their problems. You just need them around to help you with your problems. But when they're struggling, you discard them. It's selfish. So you could call it I, selfish, Lord, and Master, because it's all about you. And you don't want to live like that, because you're not going to enjoy the company of other people, and they're not going to enjoy you either, because all you care about is yourself. So don't live like that. Let's do it God's way. Love somebody, and they're going to love you back, and everybody wins. God bless you.